What's going on, guys? JHoyt back with you today. Welcome back to episode number 11 of the Chicago Blackhawks franchise mode. Today, after the preseason, we have our starting roster. And I guess, without further ado, let's just get right into it. So, last episode, we had the offseason. This episode, we got the start of the regular season. And this is going to be the roster heading forward into the regular season. We got both rookies up here. Well, one of them is not a rookie really anymore, but Koivu from, I guess, 2 years ago when we drafted him second overall. He's making his NHL debut this year. And our first overall pick from this past year, Tony Solani, is also up here. And you can kind of see the rest of the guys look pretty much exactly the same. Our fourth line's different. But other than that, everything else is pretty much the same. On defense, this is how it looks. This is all of the positions are based on preseason performances. I should also mention that. And then goaltenders, same thing. Now, we did not have the best of preseasons. I'll just put that out there. We did not. Meaning our goaltenders struggled, and we struggled defensively, and we didn't really score a lot of goals. So a few caution signs heading into this year. I'll give you a quick look at the AHL team. The extra guy we signed, Trevor Lewis, just in case Solani wasn't ready. He's down the AHL, fourth line, just to give some other guys playing time ahead of him. Defense, quick look at that. Nothing really too special. However, we do have a pretty solid defensive depth there, along with forwards and goaltenders down there, Hollett and Miska. We already got all the lines taken care of, and one thing you may have noticed if you guys have been paying attention, Dominic Cahoon. Where is he? Well, I will also mention that we tried to sign him lots of times. Every time he declined a contract, we tried to sign him to a different contract, and he never wanted to accept anything. So we moved our way until after the preseason, where the Detroit Red Wings decided to throw in an offer sheet for him. So basically, what we have on our hands is in less than a week, we're going to have to make a decision on Cahoon, whether to let him walk for, I believe it's a second round pick, or match it, or match the offer, which, could be, beneficial or not. And I believe Detroit offered him 3.17, 3.175, I think. Something around there. It's been like a week since I recorded. But yeah, about $3 million or so. I think it's a little bit more for 2 years. So if it was for 1 year, I would have probably just accepted it and, just dealt with that lots of extra money. But for 2 years, especially being a guy that would have most likely started on the fourth line this year, I just felt like that was a little bit too much, especially when Detroit offered him that contract and we'd get a second-round pick out of it. I figured, hey, if he doesn't want to sign our contracts, then let him walk for a second-round pick is, I guess, something we'll have to do. Although, like I said, I'd love to keep him. I really, really would. But, I don't know. I just can't justify giving him $3 million to play in the fourth line. Unless one of our rookies doesn't really perform. But, yeah, the rest of the roster is set. We already fixed all the lines, the settings. Injuries are back off until after the trade deadline. And then, what was the other thing? Goal rotations are back on. And one thing I forgot to do was the trade block, as I just saw the proposed trade screen. But I'm going to fix the trade block, and then we're going to get right into the regular season. So we got everything taken care of now. On to the regular season. Like I said, injuries are off. Goal rotations are back on. So let's get the first month of the season under our belt. We're going to go to November 1st just to kind of see how we're going to do. But one thing we didn't do during the offseason was sign all of our scouts. I realized that in the preseason, and I went to make sure everyone was set up, and then I realized that we didn't sign anyone. So all of these guys are scouts, and then I think we offered a couple players extensions on their deal, which would be guaranteed signings for next year. But all right, let's get through all of these real quick. Press A a million times. I will fix them later as we move on. There we go. There's one of them. Is there a second one? There. Okay, so this is the one we had to deal with. I was right. 3.175. Or yeah, 3.175 for 2 years from Detroit. We do have the salary cap to sign him. However, like I said, I don't really want to pay $3 million for a fourth liner unless he'd do better than someone else, which I don't know how that really work out. So I don't really want to, but I'm going to take the compensation in this sake. Like I said, I didn't really want to do that. However, I don't know. I'd rather give the young guns a shot up here and see how they do. But all right, 2-2-1, decent start. A couple of high-scoring games. 5-5, 8, 6. All right, so we got some pretty high-scoring games here. You'd love to see that. Unfortunately, they're all on the opposite side of the scoreboard that we want, except for one of them. But all right, what can we do here? So 4-4-1 looks like we're gonna be about even. We got 2 games left versus some Western Conference teams. And we lost one in a shootout, and then the other one, I don't remember, couldn't see it. But, all right, so not a terrible first month. 4-5-2. Our HL team is dominating. What could we do here? We need to either shake something up or kind of see what's going wrong. Because I want to just let the season go before it even starts. Dylan Strome on fire. 17 points in the first 11 games. You absolutely love to see that. So I guess let's go take a quick look at the, stats. So our first line's performing. Our second line with, where is he? Perlini has 1 point. Okay, so that entire line needs to be shook up, basically. We're still playing bad defensively. I can already tell that by all the minuses. So probably move up Koivu up to the second line in place of Perlini. And then we'll keep Solani, Taves, and we'll move Perlini down to the third line, or maybe even the fourth line, just to get him back in shape, because, you know, he's listed as a sniper, and the only thing he's sniping is the breadstick that he's got on the score sheet. But then also, Duchesne, not playing well either. So we'll have to shake up the forwards a little bit. Defense, Boquist. Where's the rest of our decor? No points for anyone under Jokiharju there. Everyone's playing negatively. No one's taking a lot of penalties, which is, like, kind of weird, but I guess we're only 11 games into it. Forsberg off to a terrible start. Okay. 0.667. Oh, my goodness. 11 goals allowed in 2 games? Holy cow. All right. So I guess our AHL team's having a little bit of different luck here. That's centers, wanted forwards. All right, so I guess we got to focus on our NHL team here. We got to shake up the forward line, shake up the decor. I mean, this isn't a bad start, but it's not the best of starts either. So the one thing we saw with our lines was our first line was performing, no question. Our second line, Perlini, is non-existent right now. Then Duchesne wasn't really performing the best, and then DeBrincat was. So I feel like all I really want to do here is just swap these two. But what were these guys doing down here? So 5 points. I mean, he's playing so bad. I want to move him all the way down to the fourth line. Like, that's sad. Because I really want to put, like, more defensive players with Taves if possible, but I can't really. Because the ideal third line would be like Sabatka and Frolik with Taves, but I can't really do that. And I'm not going to move Taves to the fourth line. That'd just be ridiculous. What's Taves doing? 2-1? He's also playing my... Okay, so, what do we want to do here? So we'll leave the first line the same. We'll just swap up the wingers a little bit, see if that helps. Defense, I don't even know what to do here. Let's kind of just swap everyone up a little bit. Let's try Gustafsson on the first line. If he doesn't work out after a little while, maybe we'll put Levy on the first line. and see how that works. Because after Boquist, I mean, Jokiharju has 1 point, but I'm not expecting, you know, Erik Karlsson back there, but we need a little help doing something. So, all right. We survived the first month. Our first line's on fire, but we need the rest of our team to show up. So let's go up to December 1st here, right before we head, I guess, well, not really head on the road, but I guess right before we get home from a road trip to go right back on the road again. Let's hope this month's a better month. So 5-5-2 to start, and we start off strong with a win against Anaheim there. We get a point versus St. Louis in the shootout. All right, so we're on a little bit of a point spree here. 5-game point spree. 6-game point spree. All right, that's good to see. Is that 7? Another one. Keep going. Okay, so it ends right there. So we were on a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8-game point spree. So you'd love to see that. And that's even before that New Jersey game, too. So, I mean, if we had it before then we went on a good run there. So whatever we did definitely jump-started something. But it looks like we're going to end, not the episode, but end kind of the first part of our season 13-8-3, essentially 13-11. Not terrible. We're going positive, or above 500, I should say. I can't really say going positive because it's not really Call of Duty. But other than our first line tearing it up, obviously things have improved. But what else happened? Because something else had to have happened. Like all of a sudden our first line just doesn't just start taking over and then nothing else happens. So Strome's on fire. Kane, more than a point per game. Saad right there supporting him. So the first line still performing. You'd love to see that. Second line, DeBrincat still there, just under point per game. But then Koivu, what did he have? He had what, 3? No, he had what was it, like 5 points or something like that? I don't remember offhand. But he stepped up a little bit. Duchesne had 3 points after 11 games. So in 13 games, he had 10 points. So he turned things around there. Our third line, where is our third line? So we had Solani, I think we put Perlini there, and then we had Taves. So Taves, not really performing the best, -8, 6 points. So being one of the best defensive centers in the league, he's not really performing that great. So I don't really know what to do with him, but I guess we'll just kind of leave that where it is right now. And then our fourth line of Sabatka, Lindbergh, and Frolik are doing fine. Still trying to figure out what to do with Taves there. Boquist, absolutely tearing it up now. Doing even better. He had 6 points after 11 games. Now 13 games later, he has 11 points. So then the rest of our defense, everyone else got points, which was good. But we're still playing bad defensively. So that's something we got to think ahead on. Of, what could we possibly do? Change up strategies, maybe change up lines again. I kind of like the fact that Gustafsson and Boquist started doing well, I guess, together. So maybe it's improve one of the spots. I don't really know. But our defense still needs some work. Saros 12-5. I like that performance. However, what I don't like is down here, Anton Forsberg 1-4, 17 goals allowed in 5 games. So hopefully he could turn his season around, especially after the last couple of seasons where he did quite well. And you can see, I mean, he's been pretty decent since we've had him, at least. But all right, so rough start to the year. He still could do what he did last year, but unlikely. Take a quick look through the AHL. Mishka performing pretty well. Doesn't look like he's going to get to the 22-9 performance he did the year before, but I guess we still got time to see that. Forsland, top of the league, or top of the defense down there. And 14, whatever you want to call him, is leading the Rockford Ice Hogs in points. So that's good to see. I mean, no one really tremendously standing out down there, but they're doing well, so you got to give it to them. What else do we want to do? So we sit in third in our division by a couple games in second. But let's kind of check through the standings. We'll check through you know, our power play, penalty kill, all that fun stuff, and see if we could kind of figure out another thing we could kind of focus on and improve on. So let's go to the entire league here, and we should be in the top bit here. Where are we? Right there. So we are 10th overall. You like to see that. We got 69 goals for. So I don't think we're at the bottom, but we're okay. So we're like middle of the pack. So that's something we can address. We need more goal scoring. Plain and simple. Goals against, we have 60. That should be 30. How do you have 39 goals against? What? But all right, I think we're top 5 or top 10 in goals against right now. Okay, so our defense is actually playing decent, but we suck. So I don't really understand how that happens. Power play goals, it looks like we're ahead. Okay, it doesn't look like we're ahead by that much, but 28 goals for on the power play. So it looks like our power play is doing quite well. Power play percentage, we are second in the league behind second place Tampa Bay. What else do we got here? So penalty kill percentage, we are also in the top 10. I believe that's top 8, 85.1%. You love to see that. And then our records, if I don't scroll past it again. So 5-5-3 at home, 8-3 away, and 7-3 in the last 10. So this last month has been significant for us. No longer we are kind of bottom of the league looking for a draft pick or high draft pick. Now we're looking like a playoff team. So if we could somehow continue what we're doing now, maybe even improve our team if possible, maybe throw some new looks at stuff, it could possibly help us. Potentially look for help on the goaltender side with Forsberg. Might give him another month or so in the next episode and see if he performs. If not, we'll have to look at other options because we need a good backup goaltender in case anything happens to Saros down the road. We'll need some help. So I think we're gonna wrap this one up right here. I mean, first month was absolutely terrible. Not absolutely terrible. It wasn't the best. Second month though, December, absolutely incredible run there. 7-3. We end the episode 13-8-1. Our first line's going off, but we're still having defensive troubles. So I guess we'll address that in the next episode as I'll do some work off camera to figure out what we can do to help our team. So anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap this one up here. If you did enjoy, hit the like button down below. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. And as always, guys, we'll see you next time.